So today, Jody's still not quite up to doing the introduction and wrapping us up at the end. So it'll just be me speaking again today for today's podcast. And before I start, I actually want to say again to if you have suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, to please call or text 988. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but losing our son to suicide was so devastating that I just don't want to see another family member have to go through something like that. And I don't want you, if you're listening, to think that that's your only option and that you will reach out to get the help that you need, the resources, the listening ear, the advice, or whatever it is that they have to offer. So please call 988 or text 988 if you don't like talking on the phone, and just reach out and see what they have to say. Rather than, thinking that there's no other option. So today, when this podcast airs, it will be 2 days before Thanksgiving. And um, I have a lot of different thoughts, running through my head about the upcoming holiday. And um, I just wanted to share, some of the things going on. Last year, uh, Adam got here the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and last year we celebrated on the 23rd, so he actually got here on the 18th. And so, he was here 5 days before Thanksgiving, and when he got here, there was hope, excitement to see him, joy in seeing him, um, feeling good that he was home, and the optimism of starting a new life, starting over, just building what he needed to do here with the support of his family, with him being here with his kids, and just us and his brother, and just it was just an exciting, exciting time, exciting thought, and everything. And um, of course, we had lots of laughs, lots of fun. When Thanksgiving came, we had lots of food. And one of the few things that I cook well, I'm not a really great cook, I do okay, but one of the things that I do well is my mom's recipe for baked macaroni and cheese. And everyone seems to like it a lot, all the kids and the grandkids and everything. But I know Adam really did like it too. And he always would eat two huge helpings of macaroni and cheese whenever we had it for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or sometimes just for whatever reason, just because somebody wanted it. But anyway, so just a lot of thoughts going around that, and the difference between where we are this year compared to where we were last year, with, like I said, the optimism and the hope and the excitement and everything. To where we are today, um, where it's just very sad, and, just thinking about how things could have been and where things would have been in a year, and how things could have been so different. So it's very, very sad, and just a lot of things, to think about. And I really don't know how Thanksgiving's going to go. So the podcast after Thanksgiving, maybe some reflections on how things went, and emotions and feelings. I'm not really sure yet, but there's a couple other things that have happened over the last few days, last week and the last few days. One day last week, I was thinking about something, and I don't remember what it was, but it was something to do with Adam, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I'll just call Adam and ask him." And then it hit me that that won't happen. I can't do that. And it surprised me that it's taken this long for me to think that, because when I lost my dad and my mom, I remember thinking, like, within days or weeks or something, oh, I need to call dad and tell him this, or I need to call my mom and ask her this. And so with Adam, it took me like 10 months to have that thought. I don't know if it's different because, he's been in the forefront of our minds for a year, because he's, well, not a year, but for 10 months, because he's our son. I don't know if that's what was different, but whatever it was, me thinking about him every single day and him being in the forefront of my mind, I mean that that I didn't forget that he's gone, I guess, if that makes any sense. But there's that. And then this morning in church, um usually when I'm standing, when we're singing praise and worship, or when we're reading the word, or even sometimes when I'm just standing around, I catch myself kind of shifting from side to side, or kind of swaying. I don't know how to explain it very well, but I was doing that again this morning, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, it hit me that when Adam and Sabrina and the kids have moved back from Port St. Lucie several years ago, they were coming to our church and working in our church and serving and everything like that. And I remember looking down out of the choir, and Adam was doing the exact same thing that I was doing. He was swaying back and forth, or shifting side to side. And, it just made me smile back then. But this morning, when I thought of that and it hit me, it just made me tear up and think, oh, wow, another memory, another thought, another reminder of him. And then when I got home from church today, something popped up on the Facebook page, and from 8 years ago. And it was when Adam and Sabrina and the kids and everything were trying to plant a church in Orange Park South, I mean Green Cove Springs area. Um, we were using a school for when you would have services, and we were doing, we would do community work while we were there. We mowed lawns, and we went door to door, and we just tried to reach out to that neighborhood, the best that we could. So just to reach out, just show them Christ's love through doing things, but also to invite them to church, and to try to plant the church and grow the church and everything. It wound up not working out. We wound up not being able to grow it or anything. It was just a few people that came to all the services. But anyway, the reminder that popped up today in Facebook was 8 years ago, on Thanksgiving that year, we actually did Thanksgiving dinner at the school, and invited the whole community around the school to come and have Thanksgiving dinner with us. We all cooked, and we all brought food, and we all served. And it wasn't just us. It wasn't just Adam and Sabrina and me, and Mike and our oldest son and his wife. And it wasn't just our family, it was other folks who had been helping Adam and Sabrina try to start the church and grow the church and everything. So, but anyway, it was a picture, of Adam standing up, and and our oldest son, David, was sitting at the table, and another gentleman that was help trying to grow the church was sitting there, and a couple were sitting across from them, and they were eating the dinner. And Adam just looked so happy. He had a big old smile on his face, and was talking, carrying on a conversation with these folks, just to greet and say hello, and just invite them to church and everything. So that one was a little harder than any other thought or memory, like the thought, "Oh, I need to call Adam and ask him a question," or even the swaying back and forth thing. Um, that memory, I think, was hard hit, because he poured so much into that community, and into that, trying to plant that church. And he had good support from several families that came from the other church to help. So he had good support and lots of help. And we just tried to pour ourselves into that community, and it just didn't work. It just didn't take. You know, I guess God had something different planned for that whole situation. But so anyway, like I said, as I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving Day and to Christmas, um, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm very sad. And I hate being that way, because I'm not cooking, or having a meal for any kids or grandkids or whomever that may need to come over, and or want to come over and have dinner. One reason is that, Mike's still recuperating from his cancer treatments, and he still can't eat. So, I'm not going to cook all this food that he's not going to be able to eat. But also, I don't think my heart is in it to cook a big meal and try to do a Thanksgiving dinner. because of where we were last year at this time at Thanksgiving where Adam was here. Um, Now Jody is going to cook, and her daughter and her boyfriend are going to be there, and I am going there. And again, Mike can't eat, and he still doesn't have a whole lot of energy, so he probably won't go. But so I will be around family, and I just won't have to be the one hosting it and trying to coordinate everything, and do all the cooking and all that stuff. So that I think that'll help. That I still will be around family, but that I'm not the one responsible for doing everything. Um, so anyway, that's kind of all I have today. Well, also, I'm sorry, let me back up. I was also thinking back last year at this time. I don't know if I've shared this in any of the podcasts, but August 29th of 2023, Mike had to have open heart surgery. He had a double bypass and a heart valve replacement. So, about this time last year, he was pretty much getting back to normal as far as energy and strength and things like that. But it had been a long road of recovery for him. And so I think, Adam coming back and, living here with us for a while, I think that also encouraged Mike to, to help him with, getting better and trying to get back to doing the things that he was doing before he had the surgery. So we've had kind of a crazy year and a half. I mean, Mike had open heart surgery last year in August, and then Adam passed in January, and then Mike got cancer in July, or was diagnosed with cancer in July, and then my nephew passed away, and now our oldest son has a health thing going on. I'm not gonna speak to it because I haven't asked his permission to talk about it or bring it up, so I'm not gonna say anything about what's going on, but it's just another thing um that's happened this year that I just I don't understand. I don't understand why all these things are happening kind of in rapid succession this year. So I haven't given up on God. I haven't turned away. I haven't turned away from my faith. I don't understand what's going on, and I am kind of saying, why, God? And I just, pray that he will reveal to us whatever it is he'd have us to learn through all of this, or to grow closer to him, or whatever it is he's doing, because I know he has a plan, and I know um that things don't happen that he's not aware of, that he knows everything that's going to happen and why and when and everything else. So all we can do is put one foot in front of the other and keep moving forward, and just keep trusting. And um, no matter how hard or how sad or no matter what the circumstances are, we just have to keep plugging away. So anyway, I would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. To anyone who's listening to the podcast, I would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you and your family have a joyous get together and enjoy each other's company, and um and one, thank you for listening. And as usual, please hit the subscribe and the like button if you would, to help us move the podcast up in the listing on YouTube. And again, before I close, I want to say, please call or text 988 if you are having suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations. Please don't suffer in silence. Please don't continue to have those thoughts. Please know that there is help, and that there is another option, that you don't have to do that. So I just ask that. And we ask again, if there's anybody who would like to share their story or ask a question or have prayer requests or anything, please send us an email. It's hindsighthurts@mail.com. You can leave comments here on this podcast. You can reach us at on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify at Hindsight Hurts. Um, please share this podcast with others if you know someone who's struggling and going through anything similar or close or whatever. We again, our prayer and our hope is that we can help someone else, even if it's not the loss of someone at suicide, but it's still, if it's a loss, because grief is grief and pain is pain, and hurt is hurt. So don't, please like I said, if you want to share something with us, or you want to ask a question, or you want to have a prayer request, or whatever, please reach out to us. And if you want to remain anonymous, we can do that. We would never mention your name unless you ask us to mention your name, or just whatever. We also kind of the confirmation that we're actually helping someone else through this. I mean, I'm going to be transparent with you. I've been asking the Lord to show me if it's time just to stop the podcast. Um, I was thinking about trying to go through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day, and then the first anniversary of Adam's law passing before I actually just shut it down. If I feel like that's where God's leading, I don't. I've been asking, I've been praying, and I don't feel like He's leading me one way or the other. So until I know for sure, I'll just keep continuing. Again, I don't want to be on here just to be on here and just to ramble on. But I really do want to help someone else that, is going through this or going through grief. So anyway, just if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, please reach out to us. And please again call 988 or text 988 if you have any suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, and get the help that you need. So again, happy Thanksgiving and thank you for listening.